Introducing carbon capture and storage. Carbon capture and storage, or CCS, is a complex mining process whereby fossil fuel companies inject donations into the arseholes of politicians to delay climate action and let them keep making the ching-ching. CCS entails two key stages: capture and storage. In the capture phase, also known as state capture, fossil fuel interests infiltrate your government at every level so that we'll ignore scientists and keep approving new coal and gas projects. But don't worry, in the storage phase, we pay those fossil fuel companies billions of dollars to bury their emissions underground. Does it work? Absolutely. Those companies store the billions of dollars deep down in their bank accounts where no tax officer can reach them. What's that? Do they store the carbon? Yeah, nah. CCS has missed every single target we've set for it. Let's take a look. 20 years ago, we told you that by today, CCS would capture 5,000 million tonnes of CO2 per year. Today, the world can barely capture 10, which is so far off target you can't even see it on this graph. And when you remember that our global emissions are 36 billion tonnes each year, even if it had met its target, it would contribute approximately fuck all. We also said there'd be 100 CCS projects running by today. Today, there are only 6, but the biggest one's right here in Australia. So how's it been doing? Well, we gave Chevron $60 million to capture its emissions, and in 2016 it captured fuck all. In 2017, fuck all. In 2018, fuck all. But in 2019, it finally got clogged up by sand. To date, Gorgon has captured only 30% of its target, and that's just its processing emissions. If you include all those released when the gas is finally burned, it captured barely 2%. But hey, Chevron stored 100% of that 60 million you gave them. Capture and storage. And that's just the latest fail.
Here at the Canadian government, we spent about $1 billion to prove CCS works at this power plant, except it proved it doesn't by failing to reach its target every single year. And here at the US government, we said this one would give us clean coal. It was years late, billions over budget, and then gave up because it cleaned jack shit, as did this one.
And it's not just the technology that sucks, the economics do too. Because CCS is so expensive that even if it worked, which it doesn't, implementing it would be unprofitable for our mates. Unless, of course, we make you pay for it, which is exactly what we've been doing by blowing $4 billion of your tax dollars on CCS, including these new projects we just approved. And the best part is we're paying for them by diverting funds away from agencies which are meant to subsidize actual climate solutions, like renewables and EVs. So to sum up, we're making you pay fossil fuel companies to reduce emissions by funding a technology that doesn't reduce emissions, with tax dollars that were meant for solutions that do, to benefit companies that pay fuck all tax in the first place. Capture and storage. There is another way to make CCS profitable: enhanced oil recovery. That's when the captured CO2 is used to flush out oil from deposits which would otherwise be too hard to reach. Oil which, once burned, can release more carbon than was captured. You might call that bullshit, but we call that carbon capture use, which is why we've added a U to CCS, given Santos millions to pull that trick off at Moomba, and called it clean energy. Speaking of bullshit, have you heard of clean hydrogen? Fuck green hydrogen, the energy source with zero emissions made from renewables and water. Here's clean hydrogen, made with coal or gas, which emits more than if you just burnt the fucking coal or gas in the first place. But don't worry, it's clean, because we'll bury that problem too with CCS. And those are just some of the new technologies we'll be using to avoid taking real climate action. And when you add them to the mix, you can clearly see what we're all about. Australian